Good evening. My name is Tom Hearn. I live in the Sumner neighborhood surrounding Westbard. I share the comments that have been made tonight regarding concerns about density and the adequacy of the school system to handle the proposed recommended planning board plan to you. What I want to talk to you about tonight, though, is my experience, and I think many of the community's experience of the planning board. Because there are aspects of county government that we deal with on a daily basis: roads, the transportation system. A community only deals with the planning board on a very irregular, perhaps only 20 years when their plan comes up for renewal, as the Westbard plan has come in. And I have to say, there's an instinct of people to deal in good faith and approach. And the experience with the planning board has been one of, I think many people feel like that it was cooked from the beginning, and that we know now that charette is the French word for charade. There was, and so I just want to, my testimony to you tonight is a memo that Casey Anderson wrote regarding the proposed operating budget for the planning board, just the board offices, which this year was $1.2 million, and he's asking for a 1.3% increase. I think many of the community would think that we did not receive good value for the $1.2 million that the planning board spent this past year, and I would ask you to pose hard questions about whether or not the planning board should be funded at all in the coming year. Those are hard questions. I think that me personally, what I can do, and I'm going to do tomorrow, is ask that my tax assessment on my property be checked, because I think it's overvalued right now, and I think the tax assessment would be less, should be less. And I would invite everyone in the community here who also has concerns about the planning board performance here to help defund the planning board by asking for a reevaluation of your assessment. Lastly, I would just say, Mr. Elric, I read about your exchange with I think Ms. Fanny Gonzalez regarding affordable housing, and I think some of the polls in this discussion miss some real truths, which I think you introduced, that affordable housing might just be a code word for overdevelopment. I think you will find the communities surrounding Westbard to be some of the most generous community in this neighborhood, in this county, about donations through our churches, synagogues, mosques. And I would just say that affordable housing is respectful when it's done in a way that the residents will be put in a place where they can succeed, with a school system and a place that has place for them to absorb them, a transportation system location which is convenient and not inconvenient, as Westbard is. So I thank you for listening to me, and I cede the remainder amount of my time to the developers.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. And if you could turn your